Welcome to another edition of Executive Corner Expert Talks. In this edition, I'll be shining a light on HelpPay, and the best way to do that is to sit down with the co-founder, Mr. Andrew Ellett. Andrew, thanks so much for joining me today.
Great to be here, James. Thank you.
Well, Andrew, first and foremost, what is HelpPay and how does it work?
HelpPay is an app and a business, and we created HelpPay with the sole purpose of making helping easier. So there's already a lot of money sending apps and banking apps that will send money between people. But what we've created is part social network, part accounting and record keeping, part digital trust, and importantly, a payment app. So what we do is anyone can download our app for free from the Apple or Google app stores or use it in the web browser, enter 4 tiny data points about a bill, and then we instantly generate a unique shareable link to a payment page that anyone can then share via text message, online, on social media, or direct via email. And anyone with that link to that payment page can then pay off that bill with the reassurance that money paid on our app goes directly to the provider of that bill, which is very unlike any other apps or money sending apps that exist. So for all our technology that we've built, we're actually a brand play. We're a brand that people can trust to share and pay bills.
Yeah, brilliant. And I suppose this doesn't matter whether it's rental payments or whether you're out at a restaurant and you want to split the bill, it can be used for any situation.
Actually, at the moment, we've got a partnership with Bpay. So we actually only settle bills for whether in Australia there's a Bpay biller code, which is obviously, most providers, most utility companies, most rental agencies. So the vast majority of bills in the country, and we're working on extensions to our app so that, real life in-person events, such as restaurants, that'll come, but it's a bit later in the roadmap.
Yeah, brilliant. Now, why did you decide to create HelpPay? Did you see a key gap in the market, so to speak?
Yeah, absolutely. We've done a lot of market research. We've surveyed thousands of Australians, both in 2020 and 2021, just to make sure that what we create is going to be used. And from all the usage and stats so far, as I'll get to later, absolutely, there's a use case for this and people are using it heavily. But we really started this business with the sole purpose to make helping easier. I guess that was born from COVID, when all of a sudden, lockdowns, pandemics, people losing jobs, and myself and my co-founders got together and we thought, why is it so hard to actually pay someone else's bill if you need to? And there's lots of different use cases for when somebody may need to pay somebody else's bill. So certainly situations like COVID when people were losing jobs or not being able to physically get to the same location, the vulnerable and disadvantaged who can't keep on top of living expenses, share houses, adult children who are moving out of home, elderly parents where you might be paying their bills for them. So for all these reasons, we've created an app that simply makes it easier to pay a bill when you're not the bill recipient. And what we also found was that 43% of people who can help when asked don't, because they don't trust where the money they might give will actually go. And so that's what our app has done. We've created a trust mark and a brand mark that guarantees that money will only go directly to a provider. We also found in our research that 90% of Australians thought that conversations about money were not easy because of feelings of stress and shame. So again, we thought, right, how can we digitise these conversations? How can we destigmatise asking and giving help and make it easier to have these conversations? Also in our research, just as one example, for one particular major telco company in Australia, 50% of their customers had to ask someone else to contribute to pay all or part of a bill in the last 12 months.
Wow.
So this is already happening in society. I mean, it already happens that just because I receive a bill doesn't mean I might be the person paying it. But if I want to get somebody else to pay it, I've got to scan and give away personally identifiable information. I might have to hand over a whole lot of Bpay codes and hope that things are entered correctly into banking apps. Our app just with simply scanning of a few details, one-click sends, using social networking type features built into the app can get that bill where it needs to. And then other features like one-click pay directly from a phone or from a website using credit card details stored in the app.
Absolutely. And Andrew, you mentioned there as well that there is a bit of a stigma around potentially providing that help to other people, but not knowing where the money is going. I think there's also a stigma though attached to even asking for help. So what advice would you provide to people to, I suppose, just get away from that stigma and if they really do need assistance, searching for it?
Yeah, look, this is interesting what you're asking here because our research has shown that actually over 80% of people, when asked, would give help to friends, family, and even to strangers. Slightly lower percentages of people would give money to strangers if there's a story behind it and a reason. So first of all, our advice is to actually, rest assured that people do want to help, and also rest assured there's technology out there like HelpPay that can make it even easier to have those conversations, because it takes away the question of, what are you going to do with that money? Is it going to go to the right place? Our research also found that people actually feel great when they do give help. So the number one feeling for when somebody helps somebody else is being honoured and happy. And the number one feeling after you've been helped is being relieved and happy. So getting a yes might end up being easier than one might think. And we're constantly working on literature and features in our app to make it, get this message out there to all Australians that people will help. We're releasing literacy guides and tips and tricks, and on our website is an ultimate guide to asking for help. And basically, we're trying to create more of a community around giving help and asking for help and making helping easier.
And Andrew, I imagine this is something as well that could work quite closely with a number of different charities. I mean, you're talking about people often don't exactly know where their money's going. I certainly know there is a reluctance from many people that I know, for example, who are a bit reticent to sort of go to whether it be the Salvos or it's some sort of feed the starving children in Africa kind of thing, because obviously the money goes in the bucket and then after that we lose all sight of it. So can the tools you've developed, can they track, I guess, the progress of where these funds might go?
Yeah, James, you've really hit on some key points here. And whilst at the moment we're really working with a lot of providers about sharing bills for providers, we've got a huge angle with charities as well. And actually what we can do is, in terms of charity is all about getting the most cents in the dollar to the place where it needs to. Yeah. So for one, we want to work with charities to help them actually exponentially send the messages of what that charity is trying to do and collect more money. But we're also talking to charities like the Salvos, as you mentioned, so that when they're helping people who are disadvantaged or on the poverty line, if they use an app like HelpPay, as a lot of charities are looking at doing, we can make sure the money goes directly to it where it needs to, and literally 99.9 cents of the dollar gets to that place. So the charity angle, we're pursuing quite heavily. We're also setting up a social impact advisory board, getting together some of the best brains in the business in Australia to work out how we can get more money to where it needs to, how we can help charities get their messages out there, and how we can remove some of those issues that you just referred to about, if I give money to that charity, will it really end up where it needs to? So certainly there's a big part for us to play in bringing our technology platform to help with those sort of issues.
That sounds terrific. And I can imagine moving forward as well, there might be some good little tie-ins with government, for example, where you can try and get the message out there a little bit bigger. And it's also interesting for me that it does come from Australia. Of course, this is a country where we look at the term mateship as, I suppose, being part and parcel of the culture here. So with that in mind, how has the platform performed over the past year or so?
Yeah, interesting you bring up Mateship, because when we did this, surveys and research, and we're doing it every year just to see how these feelings about giving help, these feelings about financial help change. And 72% of respondents in Australia agree that helping is part of our Australian culture. Now, interestingly we certainly have global aspirations for our business. At the moment, I'm sitting in Jakarta in Indonesia. We're signing up providers over here because, in fact, our research is showing that in certain other countries and cultures, those percentages go up even way higher. And, family groups, friendship groups really are, in tune with, giving help to where it needs to go. So opening up into other countries is also really important. At the moment, we actually are only in Australia in terms of being able to ingest bills and put them into our app due to our partnership with Bpay. It's just, we're only doing Australian bills for now, but payments can come from anywhere in the world. And you only actually need our app to actually ask for help. Once you've actually got that word out there, you don't need the app. You can do it on a public, just on a web browser page. So in terms of, how it's being received, we only launched publicly to the world, mainly in Australia, but payments have been coming from all over the world in mid-February this year, so about 3 months. We've gone from nothing to thousands of users, fast approaching millions of dollars of bills uploaded by people all over the country. We've got thousands of bills in our platform from over 250 different providers. And that's thinking about every major bank, every major insurance company, every major utility, ISPs, energy, a lot of council rates and council bills are on our platform. And this is all because it's so easy to upload some billing data and then quickly share these bills and get them paid. And I guess probably should make the point also, our app and technology is also a great use case, not just for sharing bills, but also simply paying your own bills and keeping organised digitally. Scan a bill, put it in the app, the date's there, reminders are sent to you about when a bill is due, and also the added benefit of full credit card points for any payments made on the app. Just another little bonus, whether you're paying your own bills, the ATO tax bills, your council rates, a lot of parking fines are going through our application. So a lot of Australian consumers are finding that, look, it's just a great digital app for keeping their life organised. Although our real go-to-market messaging and why we created this business was to help the vulnerable, to make sharing bills easier, to live and operate in the sharing economy, and helping providers be better corporate citizens. And that's a real message that I'd probably like to say to your listeners today, is that we're helping providers offer a better customer experience to all their customers, and also helping providers be or play a better role in the communities within they operate, being better corporate citizens by giving this technology to their customers, to their vulnerable customers, if they're struggling to make ends meet.
Well, Andrew, as someone who consistently forgets to pay my rent on time, I think I'd have a lot of use out of HelpPay, that's for sure, especially with those reminders in there. You mentioned it's available as a desktop, obviously. You can also just search the website, and there's an app. Is there a plan, as we've seen in the last 2 years, I suppose, QR codes have really come into their own. Is there some sort of tie-in related to HelpPay with QR codes?
Yeah, we might be working within our four walls. It sounds like being in some of our product meetings. Yeah, absolutely. So at the moment, what we're doing is we're giving away this app for free to the world, and we're happy to do that. Our business model is a long-term one. We're trying to get size and scale and reach. And what we're doing at the moment with partners like, for example, Tango Energy, our launch partner in energy, who's signed up on board with us, we're releasing new technology to make it so that when Tango Energy customers receive a bill from Tango, they'll also get a link they can click or a QR code, and they'll simply be able to scan that QR code to ingest their bill into our app. So they're little enhancements that we're working on now. And where we're going long-term with our vision for our business, is to be on every major provider's bill in the country. If there's a Bpay biller code, there also should be a HelpPay QR code or HelpPay link. And that technology we're releasing to the world, we're perfecting right now. We've already, as I said before, millions of dollars worth of bills being uploaded into the system. And then we're creating all these new features and functions to make it easier for providers to integrate with us and automatically share their billing data with our platform to then make their customers' lives easier. At the moment, on the freemium version of our product, the user simply has to go into our app, as you said, it could be on a web browser or in the App Store, and simply enter 4 tiny data points in order to create these shareable payment pages. So we simply collect due date, the amount of the bill, the Bpay reference code, and the customer reference number, and then bang, in a matter of seconds, you've created this instantly shareable payment page, which is also, I should point out, it's a count down, not a count up. We sometimes get compared to GoFundMe. People will go and set up campaigns on GoFundMe, which is just about getting more money in, and hopefully it goes to the right place. Because of course, with GoFundMe, there's no guarantee that the money is going to a provider or a particular cause. It goes to an individual. So we're a countdown. If there's a $200 bill in our system, once it hits zero, no more money can go towards it. A lot of security built in as well. For example, 2 people can never contribute to the same bill at the same time. And all sorts of banking grade security that you'd expect from a banking and payments app.
Yeah, brilliant. Now, Andrew, you've also mentioned a couple of times since we've been chatting that this is indeed a business. It's not a charity, even though it might be helping people. So without divulging all the secrets of what you're doing, how does the business model operate? How do you get your income?
Yeah. So look, as I said before, we're a free service. The providers who sign up with us, we're actually saving them time and money by getting more money in the door faster, quicker, easier. They're not chasing up their customers for late payments. They're not sending letters. They're not taking phone calls into their call centres to asking for payment plans, because we're turning their relationships from one-to-one relationships, provider to the customer, into one-to-many through our app and platform. Any customer's bill can go exponentially. So for releasing that technology and for giving that technology to providers, they pay us a small fee, which comes directly from the provider, never from a customer, never from a helper. The provider gives us a small transaction fee along the way.
Yeah, tremendous. Now, obviously, you've only been up and running since February, but what are your plans for the next few years?
Yeah, look, it's all about user growth for us. We want more customers, more users. We want to spread the word. We want more people helping each other out, and our user growth has been growing literally exponentially. We've been getting amazing publicity and PR from organisations such as yourself and interviews like these. So we simply want to spread the word. You know, tell your friends and family there's an easier way to do this. We've been absolutely, touched by the stories that we hear from users. People unfortunately suffering domestic violence, people who have been going through trauma and huge sickness, losing their jobs, being able to use the app to get money where it needs to go. So yeah, getting this story out there is really important. The second thing we need to do is activate more providers on our platform. At the moment, even today, we're giving away our technology for free to providers. A really simple agreement to sign with us to use our brand mark, and providers can immediately start talking about HelpPay to their customers. However, to get to those more integrated levels with us, QR codes and things, that's where we start taking a very small percentage from the provider. So those provider relationships are absolutely critical to us. And we're calling on every provider in Australia who wants to be a better corporate citizen to contact us and to start to promote HelpPay as a new payment channel. Free to use, it's an opt-in channel. So customers will only use us to pay their bills if they need to. We're not cannibalising other traditional cheaper payment channels. If people want to keep paying directly via Bpay or credit card or going to Australia Post, they can do that. HelpPay is just another option that providers can offer their customers to be a better corporate citizen. And so the third area of our plans is what's going on just with our capital and running our business. Similar to many technology companies all around the world at the moment, with our massive growth, the staff we're hiring, the millions of dollars that we've seeded this business with, we need to raise more capital, and we're certainly looking for people who want to come on board and support us in what we're doing. And there's a capital raise underway at the moment, and we're very easy to get in touch with. Find HelpPay online in the App Store and send us a message if anyone's interested in investing.
Well, Andrew, that sums things up pretty well, but I'll just give you one final opportunity here. Any other thoughts you'd like to get across to our audience?
Look, really, we are trying to make the world a better place, put tools in people's hands to make helping easier. And this operates at a consumer level. So free technology to consumers who might be helping out friends or family, please spread the word. And similarly, providers, if you want to be a better corporate citizen, get more money in the door faster, easier, cheaper, and have a new digital payment channel that's free to use, get in touch with us.
Brilliant. Andrew, thank you so much for your time today.
Pleasure. Thanks very much.
Well, that's Andrew Ellett, the co-founder at HelpPay. And if you missed any part of that chat, you can catch the full interview on our YouTube channel, kalkinemedia. So make sure to subscribe. I'm James Preston, reminding you to stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine.